everyone. We have our first guest, Alysha from that Celebrant Girl.
Hello,
Hey.
hi. Thanks for having me. I feel very privileged to be your first official guest.
Nice. Okay. All right. I thought I'm just going to start with an icebreaker to ask to Alysha. Okay.
Ask away.
Ask away. Yep. All right, Alysha. Are you a coffee person or a tea person?
Coffee, 100%.
Coffee.
I actually have a coffee just before I go to bed. That's how much coffee I need going through my
Wow.
veins.
Right.
Yeah. So like 10 o'clock, I'll make an espresso and then go to bed. It works.
Wow.
But it's decaf, isn't it? Oh.
No, full
No?
double shot. I didn't.
Holy.
Doesn't do anything.
Wow.
There you
Anything.
go. No, except calm.
How many coffees do you drink in a day?
On average 4. So 1 in the morning,
Oh, yeah.
10, 1 and bedtime coffee.
Wow.
Yeah. There you go.
Nice. Wow. Okay. Next one. Are you a movie person or a book person?
Movie. I have to be honest, I'm not much of a reader. No. I just like to switch my brain off and watch a good movie.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's your all-time favorite movie?
Oh my goodness. My mind just instantly says Gladiator.
Gladiator,
I think I went with Russell Crowe. I think that was just when it first came out, I was younger. It just formed a love of just all of the old culture and I don't know. It just left a mark on me. And then I suppose more modern, I'm just a sucker for any like Will Ferrell movies. If you've seen my Instagram page, I just make reels with Will Ferrell, like Step Brothers, as an all-time favorite for me.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. Next one. What's the most adventurous thing you've ever done?
I would have to say it's pretty common for people in Western Australia, I suppose. But when my now husband and I were 21, we kind of just quit our jobs at the time and travelled through Southeast Asia for 4 months and just the bags on our backs and a little bit of savings and just experience life. And I think that was pretty adventurous. Yeah, I think that's probably a standout. It really forced us to grow up as well pretty quickly, being over there with not much of an idea of the different cultures and etiquettes, and yeah, we came back different people in a better way. So yeah,
Pretty much wakes you up.
it does. Yeah, you realise that there's a life beyond your little bubble that you were raised in.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
Okay. All right. Next one. What's a fun fact about you that not many people know?
I would say, excuse me, I'm a pretty ordinary person, but something that often catches people by surprise is I am a huge fan of UFC. I love watching Ultimate Fighter and a huge car fan, a car enthusiast. So I think those two things, if I'm not being a mum, I'm always a mum, but if I'm not with my child or, doing wedding things, whenever there's like a UFC fight card on, my husband and I are like right in there, like, yeah, let's go, even more than the guys sometimes. So I think that's something that probably catches people up by surprise a little bit when I start a
most
conversation.
recent one? Sean Strickland, is it? The most recent one?
That was Strickland and that was a Chandler, Dustin Poirier fought, and then Strickland and...
I forgot the other one.
Because he's the middleweight. Who was fighting Strickland?
I forgot. But it was really good.
Because Dustin fought Islam, who beat him. Oh my goodness, I'm having a mind blank now.
No, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but...
But it'll probably be Strickland and Whittaker next, I hope. Rob Whittaker, and then I think it's Israel and the South African. Are you into it? No?
Sort of,
partially?
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Partially.
All good.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Next one. If you were a superhero, what would your superpower be?
Oh, goodness. I was actually thinking about this, and for me it would be like time manipulation.
Ooh.
To not necessarily time travel, but to slow down time or to speed time up, I think. And sometimes in life just things are... It seems like the good times always go way too fast. So I'd love just to like slow down time and just like be able to be more present and take things in. And then, if you're going through a really crappy time in life, just like speed past it.
I wish.
Yeah, I know. So probably something to do with time manipulation,
100%.
possibly time travel. Yeah.
Right. Would you be able to tell me a little bit more about yourself?
Sure. Okay. I was born a baby. No, sorry. I was born a baby, Rockingham General Hospital, and then I kind of just stayed in Rockingham my whole life. I've still lived down in Rockingham. I'm not going to take you through my entire life story.
Of course.
A little bit more about myself. If I were to start from now as Celebrant and work backwards, I spent 8 years at uni. I'm a very indecisive person. I started doing teaching, then I moved to environmental science, and I went back to teaching, and I finished that. I genuinely loved studying, just learning new things. And also I found that when I was studying, I wasn't having to carry a lot of the burden of the rest of adulthood. So once I graduated, I was like, oh, now I have to be a real adult. Went in to become a teacher. I was a teacher for 8 years. And then had my son 3.5 years ago. And that was a real wake-up call for me, where I was like, oh, do I want to continue working full-time as a teacher and giving all these other children 100% of my time and not be with my son? And I realised, no, that's not what I want. So that's how I got into Celebrancy. What also got me into that, this may be a question that you'll ask later anyway, about how I got into it, was a part of my own wedding planning journey with my husband. We met in high school, so we were 15 when we first started dating, and then we got married 10 years after we first started dating. And I just thought just the whole wedding planning process for me was quite a lot. And so I think I wanted to be a part of someone else's wedding planning journey and take a bit of that stress off for them.
100%,
But yeah, back to a little bit about me.
Where'd you guys get married?
We ended up getting married in Rome. We have no ties to Italy. When I first started planning, or we started planning an overseas wedding, I think we were given Greece and Italy are the two places where non-residents or not citizens can get married the easiest. And so I was so naive. Like, looking back, like, it was actually really risky. I knew I was just emailing this invisible person that I Googled and, gave them all this money to plan a wedding, and put all this trust in them. And I remember the morning of, we were there getting ready, and I thought, we don't even know if this is legitimate. Like, we've had all this email communication, that's wonderful. And so we got to where we were having our ceremony, and everyone was there, and it was just such a relief because it was real. It all worked out.
It's a big wedding.
No, it was just us and immediate family.
Right.
And then we continued on through Europe for like an added on honeymoon after that.
So nice.
Wow, so nice.
It was perfect for us.
Yeah.
For us, it was an either or type scenario where, well, if we had a big wedding here, then we would financially have to forego any travel that we'd planned. So we're like,
and spend more money for the guests that you haven't even spoke to for a while.
Yeah, that's right. So we're like, it was kind of a no-brainer for us.
Yeah.
We could do it both. Yeah.
That's good.
So the ceremony and reception was over there?
Yes, we had the ceremony in it's like a 10th century castle. It was beautiful, just out of Rome. Right. And then we went back into the city for photos. Wow. And we just booked a really nice restaurant to then go for dinner with our family. And then Josh and I were in bed by 9 o'clock because we don't do late nights.
Fair enough.
Yeah, definitely. So that was perfect for us. We woke up fresh the next morning as husband and wife.
Who was your photographer?
Siobhan Hegarty. She's
Irish. Is she local over there?
She's an Irish lady, but she lives in Rome.
Right.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. So I found her. I don't even think I had Instagram back then. This was 2016.
Oh yeah.
I don't know.
There was Instagram.
No, I did. Yeah, but it was just very,
basic.
Back in 10 years ago, the photos were so heavily edited.
Yeah, like with the filter.
Yes, all the filters. I did have, sorry, Siobhan, but I even filtered my wedding photos when I put them on Instagram because that's what you did.
That's fine.
Yeah. Even back then, like if we say, oh yeah, there's no filter, but we put no filter, but we added filter on it anyway. Do you know back then? Like we lie secretly.
Who, we as in photographers or everyone?
No, everyone. Oh. Everyone's doing it.
Yeah,
right?
No filter. Yeah.
No filter, yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Even now, I did a story the other day, you don't have to include this, and I actually put a filter on because ooh, I look a bit tired, I'll just put natural filter on.
Yeah. Okay. So, how long have you been doing Celebrancy for?
So I became registered as a registered celebrant in September 22. Yes, 2022.
2022.
So almost
okay.
2 years.
Yeah.
The course was a 12-month course.
Oh, there's a course.
Yeah, so it's a certificate for in celebrancy.
All right.
There
I didn't know
are
that.
quite a few training providers. I chose to do mine online just because I had a 1-year-old child. You have 12 months to complete it. When I signed up, they said you've got 12 months. However, most people get it done in 3 months. I think I submitted my final assignment 11 months and 2 weeks into the course. Like I really used up that 12 months. Once you're registered, you then have to once you've finished the course and you get your certificate, you then need to apply to be registered. So you even need references,
Yep.
and there's a whole array of questions that you need to answer, and you submit that, and then you get a registration number. It takes about 3 months for that to happen. And then you can start marrying couples. But even, say, once you've got your certificate, you can't advertise your services because you're technically not registered under the Attorney General to officially marry couples yet. So it's a really anxious 3 months for celebrants because you've got that certificate, you're waiting to be registered, you just want to kind of put your name out there. You can kind of subtly put things online to say, hey, like, I'm a celebrant, but I'm not taking bookings yet. Just wait for me to be registered. So, yeah. So that officially came through September 22.
It's a lot of things that we don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. I haven't looked recently, but I think when I became registered, there were 910 registered celebrants in WA.
Wow.
I'm sure it's probably gone way up, like in the last 2 years.
Probably met like 10.
Yeah. Because I'm finding it might just be because I'm in the industry now, but there are so many new faces popping up.
Oh, of course, yes.
Yeah. So I'd be interested to see how many celebrants have joined since then.
So yeah, how'd you get your first couple?
My first couple.
I feel like it's going to be hard.
It is, especially when you don't have like the reviews or the content or anything. So a lot of my early couples were friends. So I had some friends who were actually having their like reception and their ceremony overseas in Montenegro because she was from there.
Yep.
But they wanted to legally be married here in Australia. So I married them at their dinner table in October. So I'd been registered for only 2 months. I married them. And then I did a few weddings just through word of mouth where couples wanted their friends to officiate the wedding, and so they just needed a celebrant to stand in and recite the legal part, be a witness and sign all the documents. And, that provided me with some photos, and they gave me reviews, and then I could kind of have a little bit of a platform to let other potential couples know that I'm legitimate and I've got some experience under my belt. But it's definitely hard starting out.
It is.
And knowing, and even for me, one of the hardest things, not even getting work, because I found I did a couple of expos and then the work would come from that, because as you guys would know, like you get to meet people and talk to them and they can kind of suss out who you are as a person as well. But for me, it was discovering who I was as a celebrant, because I don't know if you felt the same. Like when you first go into the industry, I felt like I had to fit a certain mold and be a certain person. And so I was trying to like be that person that I thought I should be to be a celebrant. But it's actually been such a great journey for the last 2 years, because I've just become so comfortable in who I am as a celebrant. And essentially it's just me. I'm just myself. I don't have to offer any quirks or any weird things or fun, inclusions or become someone, because the couples that I'm attracting are my perfect dream couples. And I'm getting that just from being myself. So that's been really good for me. Just to be comfortable with myself as well.
Yeah. Because I find couples that book you would see how your vibe is.
Yeah, definitely.
And they get more comfortable with that person, and then that's how they book you pretty much.
And you have to be yourself, because people will see through that. Like I thought, you may have seen, I did a post where I thought I had to be like a party starter. I had to be like this person who like set this tone and vibe. And I really tried for my first few weddings, and I stepped back and I thought, oh, that's just not me. And most of my couples didn't want that. They wanted the really intimate ceremony that just highlights their love. And then the party naturally happened after anyway.
Yeah.
And so I would just be like my modest, warm, calm self, and they're the people that I attracted, and that was just perfect. Yeah.
Do you always find like the perfect couple, like for you?
I actually do.
Oh, that's good.
I've been having a lot of meetings recently because we're in the off season. So I've been trying to put all my meetings now for the upcoming wedding season. Yep. And every time I've gone home to my husband, I'm like, oh my God, they're the best couple ever. Like they genuinely are, all of my couples. I just people who I would want to hang out with. Like, it's actually quite bittersweet. You might feel the same at the end of a photography session. Like, I'm sad to say goodbye to them. Like, I haven't married anyone where I'm like, oh, good riddance, like, goodbye. Like, I genuinely feel like I form a connection with all of them. And I think that's because through meeting them at expos and my online presence, even though I know that I need a lot of work on my online presence, but I just attract people who are my ideal couple. And I suppose if I'm not, then they just move on to the next person, because there are so many people online now that they can go and stalk and filter through. So yeah, and one thing I've noticed actually recently is a lot of couples. So when I first started out, a lot of couples would say, yeah, let's meet on Zoom or in person. We'd meet and then say, yep, we want to book you. Recently I've found, I'm not sure if it's because of like the economic climate or whatever, a lot of couples are meeting with several celebrants, possibly to gauge the vibe. Maybe I'm finding possibly the celebrant is someone that couples are valuing more, so they're not just going with who they meet first, or if it's a financial choice to see who's going to be, best about value for money. But that's one thing that I am noticing that's changing even in the last couple of years. So it's not like I'm having to work to get the bookings, but that couples are being really open, saying, yeah, like, we're meeting with a few other people, we'll let you know.
I think same with us. Photography wise,
the same.
Yeah. I meet them in a cafe, and they'd be like, "I'm meeting some other photographers too, so we'll get back to you."
And you're like, "Yeah, that's great. It's all up to you, but okay, please let me know sooner rather than later." I really liked you, so book me.
See, like, I've been doing this quite a long time now, like 14 years. 14 years, but
so you've seen a lot. You've seen the change,
the change, the trends, changing trends, and all that stuff. See, if I have like one happy client, right? Initial meeting, do the job, delivering the products, and then the client's happy, right? And then they would say, Alvin, we're so happy with your work, and I would definitely recommend you to my friends and family, who needs photographer, right? That is the best feeling in the world.
Yes.
It's like, and then they, write a review on our Google review, and it's like, that's the best feeling in the world. And then some clients, they just say, when we deliver the USB or the photos or videos, they never get back to us. It's like, are they happy with my service? It's like, what's going on here?
It's like the suspense of just waiting for that feedback.
And there's only so many email follow-ups you can send, like, hey, leave me a review. Is everything okay?
Yeah. It's like, okay then. If that's your way, I'm good. As long as you've got the photos and video, I'm good.
Yeah. I have to admit though, before I started my own business, I was not leaving reviews for people. I didn't understand the value in a review for a small business owner. Now, God, if someone just smiles at me, I'm like, 5 stars, and I want to give a review, because I'm like, that's so nice. So I completely understand the value now of a review. It's like gold. And the word of mouth, and if you get a lead and it's like such and such, I was at such and such's wedding and I really liked you, I want you to be my celebrant or photographer or videographer. It's such a great feeling, because it's a compliment to your work but also to you as a person as well.
That's right.
Yeah. Especially, I don't know about you guys, but I'm someone who I need to be reminded that I'm doing an okay job or a good job, I think. And that can be hard sometimes when you don't have a boss or someone to say, like, look, or give you feedback. Like, okay, like, maybe try this differently next time, or you did that really well. when you're your own boss, and you don't get anything from clients, whether it's 5 stars or even just like an email say like, this was great, or like, or maybe we could change this. You don't know. Like, oh, was that a good job? Oh. Yeah.
We mentioned about the wedding trends. Have you been following like trends lately?
To be honest, no.
Yeah.
I expect or I assume that my couples have been following the trends and they come to me with their own ideas and I'll work with them with what they want. I think, and for me, I'm quite a traditionalist when it comes to ceremonies. So I always offer, different ideas and ways of making the ceremonies a little bit different and unique, which I love. But most of my couples just want quite a nice, simple, traditional ceremony. So I don't really follow trends. Like when I'm scrolling through Instagram, I'll see it all and go, oh, that's pretty cool. So I'll save it. But no. And another thing with Instagram, I'm not sure if other industry professionals do it, but I've recently just unfollowed out of kindness all celebrants that I was following. I find that I'm someone who, quite an indecisive person. If I'm being exposed to all of these celebrants and how they're doing all these things, I feel like I need to do that, and it can kind of steer me away from who I authentically am. And I want to stay true to who I am and my style and the couples that I'm attracting now, which is my dream, who are my dream couples. So I see enough online to kind of know what's happening, but I don't delve too deep because I feel like I can be very distracted.
I totally understand with you.
Yeah.
Totally understand, because I do unfollow some of photographers as well. Even though they're friends of mine in the real life, but it's just sometimes, like what they do is kind of affecting me as well.
It's like you want to try that.
They want to try that. It's like it's making me a bit uneasy sometimes.
I completely understand.
But having said that, like that doesn't mean like their work is bad. Like I believe like every photographers and videographers are good.
Yes.
We are good in our own way, of course.
Of course.
So speaking about trends, like when I first started up as a photographer in 2011, 2012, back then, the style completely different than
What
now.
was it back then?
It was all about posing stuff, and then like overexposed photos, a bit of sepia colors.
Oh yes.
Yeah, sepia colors.
There's still some around.
Nowadays the trend is actually
coming back.
coming back. The sepia colors.
I've noticed that.
To be honest, I never like sepia colors.
No.
It just looks like 1950s.
Was it around when you started like the black and white and then like a pop of color, like maybe the colors, like the roses are red?
Yeah, red, and everything is black and white. Oh yes, it's a bit cringy.
Yeah,
I don't like
a
it.
bit of vignetting as well.
Oh, vignetting, yes.
The what?
Vignetting.
Oh,
the black borders,
like the shadow.
Yeah.
That's what all my Instagram photos were like when I first started.
Yeah.
Is it vignette?
Vignette.
Or vignette?
Vignetting.
Oh, in my mind I'm like vignette. 100 vignette.
Vignetting. That was quite popular back in the day. And then slowly changed into, they call it candid moments, right? See, what they don't understand is when we do candids, we have to tell them what to do. It's like it's not like they stand here and do whatever you like.
That's so true.
There's like it looks a bit awkward.
They wouldn't know.
They would know. Yeah.
So candid is not completely canned.
No, just like
natural.
Say something to your partner. Whisper something, make him laugh, this and that. And then they would do something like romantic.
Yes.
So they need like a cue, like a prompt to do it.
Yeah. Like when they're signing the marriage certificate, I love that album. You're like, whisper something.
Oh yeah, that's my thing. That's my thing.
So good. I'm like, just wait for it. He's going to tell you something.
Yeah, that's my thing.
That's good.
Yeah.
No, that's interesting. Of course, candid is not actually candid. I know if you said to myself and also my husband, like, just do something natural, he'd just be like, what?
They wouldn't know what's natural.
Yeah. And then like I just saw this my Instagram last night, and it's popping up with this weird stuff. like blurry. Like pretty much all the photos are blurry. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with that. It's like
It's a trend.
this is not a
It is a trend, isn't
photography.
It's like a Vogue trend. Is it quite?
Yeah.
A lot of photographers are coming out now
Yeah.
and putting Vogue on top of it.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow. As well, surely their whole album that they give couple isn't just a
I
blur.
know, right? Like blurry photos.
And people book that for some
Yeah.
reason. Yeah. I'm like, you can't even see your face.
Oh man. I mean, my son can take photos then.
Yeah.
Book my son.
No, your son's better than them.
Oh yeah.
I've seen your son's work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. So where do you see can you see what the trend will be moving forward?
I
good
think
question.
some of them are, the bright sun on couples.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, like when you shoot, just put the couple straight in the sun.
Oh,
and
okay.
shoot that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like
Is the sun behind them or?
no, in front of them. It's like harsh
Okay.
shadows and
Ah, shadows
yeah.
in front of them.
No, the shadows behind.
Oh,
them.
this.
But
Oh, okay. Yeah. Sure.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah, there's a lot of flash as well.
Oh yeah.
The
I've
Vogue
seen
style.
that. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've seen a lot of faceless wedding photos.
Oh yeah.
Where it's
Faceless. Yes.
maybe I don't know if it's a candid style, but say like whether it's pouring the champagne or like sitting on a couch and like there's no face. It's just
Right.
the body and
I mean, I do that sometimes,
Classiness.
but
Yeah, I do that sometimes too.
mainly
Yeah.
just the details, like the
The
Of
details,
course.
holding the
Are
flowers.
they like just detail shots?
details.
Yeah.
Stuff, yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
I do like them. Yeah.
And I think the ones coming back is the one where
Sepia.
no, the one where they don't smile.
I like just
Smile.
serious face.
Serious face. Yeah, coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about those. Like it's great. Like I love it.
Yeah,
But
because I did that on my wedding.
as well, but you had like
Yeah.
smiley photos as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
of
okay.
course. Yeah, of course. Yeah,
Just straight face the whole time, like don't want to be here.
yeah.
Oh, interesting.
I don't
It
know.
was-
More trends. Sorry, you go.
No, okay.
Yeah, I think more trends about the flowers as well.
Flowers.
They're not like this single color kind of flowers. A lot of
Using
them
single color
not
or not?
yeah,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So a lot of them are like bright colors.
Yeah, I love the bright colors.
They look good. But yeah.
When you go through, when you edit your photos, do you have to go to every single photo, or can there be like a boop autopilot? Just
I wish.
everything edited.
Like with my software and my workflow, I usually like do several turns of editing.
Okay.
Really, like one turn is like okay, like batch editing, like the whole couple of hundreds, sometimes close to 1,000, and then do the first batch, and then go back again, and then check. Oh yeah, this color is okay. Oops, bad, and then just go heavy editing on that one. Yeah. Oh yeah, there's like beer bottle there. Like remove it. Yeah, remove this.
What?
Yeah. Oh, this one is blinking. Oh, okay. Why do you blink?
Open their eyes. Can you actually do that? Can you like crop an eye from another photo put on?
You can.
In the Photoshop,
Photoshop,
we
yeah.
have this generative AI tool, right?
What?
But sometimes the result is not that good.
Yeah.
The eye
It's
is
not always the best.
not always the best.
Okay.
Sometimes if the person is the same from the other photo, or maybe like family members, I can just try to copy one eyeball from that side, paste it there. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
It's a lot of work.
It is a lot of work.
A lot of work, especially from the video side. It's more difficult. Yeah, video is different area.
Yeah.
Because you got all the audio to consider.
The song is the main part.
The
song.
that's playing over the video.
Yeah. It's like, when brides ask you to change the song. If you can change the song for you.
Change the song.
Should be an easy fix.
Because this is our song, it's the song doesn't reflect us,
Mm.
which is fine. I totally understand.
Yeah. Is it not easy? Like, have you mapped everything to match a particular song?
100%. Yeah. It's like the backbone of every video.
Okay,
It's
so
like you start from there.
got it, and
Yeah.
then you edit to
Yeah.
suit
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
song.
So you edit some parts you would edit for the beats
Yeah.
itself. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just it's just like
Do you know the software called CapCut?
Yeah, that's how I make my reels.
Yeah. See, if you put song in the background,
Yeah.
and then you're trying to time it correctly with certain photos or videos, like
Yeah.
that thing there, like time it correctly.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the same thing with the software that we use on the computer.
Wait, can CapCut naturally do that with the song? Or do you have to physically go
You
through
have to physically do it.
Yeah,
Okay.
basically do
One by
it. Yeah.
one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
One thing about wedding videography that just reminded me in the songs, for our wedding video, so after we got married, we walked around the city, and in this beautiful garden was just a local guy with a guitar just happened to be singing Elvis Presley, I Can't Help Falling in Love with You. It was so beautiful. And so we kind of just stood around and just like had a moment.
That's like,
The videographer put the actual Elvis song over the voice of the guitarist, whereas like maybe it was a sound issue, I don't know, but it would have been so beautiful just to kind of like hear his natural playing and then us just being present. But yeah, that actually just occurred to me. Maybe he had to do it because the sound didn't come
maybe he
through.
wasn't ready for the
Yeah.
recording bit. Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
But yeah, so this guy's playing and it sounds like Elvis is singing whatever he's playing.
Ooh, that's Elvis.
It's like matching his voice too, matching the mouth.
Yeah, actually,
That's
I didn't look
weird.
that closely. I should. That'd be
Looks
weird.
Yeah, because we believe, like, so if you see like one highlight video, right, and if you put not a good song, it's gonna mess up everything. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's not gonna be good.
As in, not a good like,
video.
Is the song just like a crappy song,
I
or the
wouldn't say-
timing of it?
I would say crappy. It's just the feel of the song.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think basically what we do is we match the vibe of the day itself.
Yeah. Good
So it was
idea.
more of a fun day, you know. We put more upbeat kind of thing,
Yeah.
and we slow it down a little bit,
Yeah.
and then upbeat again. But if the couple are not,
Yeah.
not what do you call it? Not exciting,
Yeah,
or like it's more intimate stuff.
Yeah,
then
of
we'll put
course.
slow music.
still
So
put like lovey-dovey kind of song.
yeah, more emotional video kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you ask them those questions beforehand, or just do you wait until the day to gauge what kind of songs would be a good choice, or do you explicitly ask them if they have a preference?
Some clients they say, oh, I want this song, can you please put it on the highlight, but the problem is we can't put just like any random songs. We can't put like
Copyright music.
copyright
Ed Sheeran.
music,
of
Ed Sheeran,
course.
some Bruno Mars.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
the difficult part.
Yeah.
because we're gonna get sued for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's
Not-
quite
yeah.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Like if you upload like any highlight with Bruno Mars songs in it, it's gonna be muted.
it's gonna be taken down by Facebook
Yeah,
or
yeah.
Instagram. Yeah, straight up. But also, if the recording artist saw that, you get fined as well.
Wow.
So
So you can't even like just give it to the couple and say for your eyes only, because you never know if it's going to
Yeah.
be
I mean,
Published
if they
elsewhere.
want, then
If they want, it's fine. Like we can put
Yeah.
any songs. Just they just need to be aware that cannot upload this to social media.
yeah.
You know.
Interesting thing to consider, of course, because
Yeah.
the first thing a lot of people want to do is like put it all online and share their magical day,
Yeah.
and the last
Yeah.
thing you want is to then have an email saying you've breached copyright, guys.
Yeah. I did that once a couple of years ago, and then I've got a message saying, "Oh, your song is muted because you're breaching copyrighted stuff." And I say, "Oh, okay," and then I just took the video down.
can't do much about it.
Can't do much about it.
But no fine, like they don't.
No, fine.
no
It's
stress,
warning
right?
at first. Like
Yeah, okay.
warning, and then
What about you? Have you had any interesting couples?
No, but just talking about the copywriting, I remember during my course actually reading something about even if we were to recite a particular, like a text or a poem or a reading, I maybe don't put this in, but I'm pretty sure like you need to quote who that person was, and even in some cases it can't be said. But I'm actually going to have to go follow that up, because a few times like couples have requested that I say a quote by
Yeah.
someone that's like maybe it's special to them.
Yeah.
But on the terms of copyright, I might actually have to look into that. But yeah, thank you. Something to go home and think about. But interesting couples. No. And I haven't done too many boo-boos. Only one that Alvin was present for. Most of my weddings, I leave.
So what happened there?
For the podcast's sake. It's probably minor in the scheme of things. But so most of the time, like when I meet with couples, I ask them more questions than I probably have to, because I want to be super prepared and I want the ceremony to go exactly how they want. And one of the questions is, where would you like me to direct guests after your ceremony? Like, be explicit. 9 times out of 10, it's like, just tell them to go here for cocktail hour. No worries, no problem. And so it's just become a natural part of my housekeeping to say go for cocktail hour. But this particular wedding, and Alvin was present, the couple. Oh yeah, you were there, Brad.
You were there too.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the
Did you hear
Imogen? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And she wanted me to direct guests for drinks and nibbles or something. There was no mention of cocktails, so I was like, I'm not going to say it. But as I was saying my housekeeping, I naturally went to say cocktail, and my mind, like my brain, kicked in halfway through the word cocktail and was like, nope, she doesn't want cocktail, she wants nibbles. And so I was just like, all right, everyone, once the ceremony's over, just make your way over to the bar for cock. And then I was like, oh geez, all the young people laughed, and then I kind of just like looked for them and I'm like, oh, the oldies aren't getting they're just not getting it, they're not vibing, but that's okay, I've got enough laughs to get by. And I was like, not that, don't go for that, go for drinks and nibbles, and just like made a bit of a comeback and a joke, and that was totally fine. So I mean, I think with celebrants, like some of our biggest fumbles or like little mishaps can be in our wording. On that topic, one of my first ceremonies, I always get the couples to send me their vows that they've written, and I'll just give them any feedback if they're completely different, and then I'll have them printed ready for them on the day. And so I'll bring them to the ceremony. And this one couple was down at Bicton Baths, and so we were like down in between these beautiful big trees. I had my bag all the way over by my speaker, and it was just one of my I love all my couples, but this was one of my favorite couples ever. We were just like having so much fun. There was so much emotion, and it completely slipped my mind to bring the vows with me to grab them from my bag. And so like I was halfway through the ceremony talking, we got to the vows, and I was like, all right, and now time for the vows. And as soon as I saw the word, I was like, oh shit, I don't have them. The vows are not here. So I was like, oh, I need to like make a little joke out of this. I was like, the vows, which I don't have, however, they're over in my bag. I'm just going to leave you to just wait for a moment. And I sprinted over, grabbed it, and I came back, and they shared their vows, which was really nice. But you know, I've learned from that. I triple check that I've got everything 100 times now, because I don't want to mishap like that again. But yeah, nothing too big to remember. How about you guys? Anything that you just like remember?
You start, Alvin.
Interesting one.
Or do you have a big list?
Yeah, you know, sometimes because you've been doing it like for years, it's just you remember it for 1 week or 2 weeks, and then suddenly just disappear from your mind.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah, things you want to forget.
Yeah. What about you?
I mean, I've only been doing it for 6 years now.
Still a decent amount of time.
Yeah. I don't know. It's all the common things, like people asking for, raw footage. Yeah. And stuff. I just, yeah.
Do you offer raw footage?
Nah. It's in my contract.
Yeah.
Is raw footage like literally everything you recorded on the day?
Yeah.
Even if I had these 3 cameras, and I give them all.
When you're going through all the raw footage to make like an edited version, have you seen and heard things like that maybe you wouldn't obviously want to put in the edited version, or maybe you didn't even see it on the actual day? Like, oh God, I didn't even hear that happen.
Me and Alvin, we'll talk shit a lot.
Yeah.
And you can hear it in the video.
That's why you have the songs over the top.
No.
Like on the wedding day, like we chat a lot, like especially during the reception and stuff.
Yeah.
Look at that girl. You're like, ooh. Like we have to cut that. That's
the bride's grandma, Albert.
Like we have to cut that,
Oh, imagine if you're like, have you ever heard of any photographers and videographers like accidentally leaving things in, and then the couple's seen or heard things, or not necessarily?
Not on my side, which is good.
Yeah, good.
I don't want to have that issue. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, just something that couples, we probably talked about this already, don't understand about raw footage.
Yeah.
It's like giving them, just ingredients. It's not a final product.
Yeah.
So
Fair enough.
This footage pretty much like the colors are flat,
Oh.
like dead flat.
So you would edit color
Have to.
into them.
Just
Yeah.
like that.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Oh wow.
So it literally looks like that.
Look a bit bland.
Yeah.
There you
So I'll put color in you. Don't
Yeah,
Thank you.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the
that's
same
interesting.
same with photo. You know, even though the color is not as flat as that, but it's still flat. We have to, like color grade everything.
Is there like a camera that captures all the color? Like no matter how high tech you go, does it always need some
Yeah,
input?
we have to shoot JPEG. Can't do much with it, especially in the highlight of the photo. Do you know much about photography at all? Highlight. Highlight is like that picture, that light behind you, right?
Yeah.
The highlight is like peaking, right?
Yeah.
If I have to tone down the highlight on my raw files, I can do that.
Okay.
But with JPEG, pretty much stuck. Like the
With what you've got, with what you're taken.
yeah, it's
So if-
limited.
So if that already peaked, you
Yeah.
can't bring back the
Yeah.
details.
Details.
So if your wedding dress is if your wedding dress is like on the sun, or in the sun, then yeah, that's pretty much it. It's gonna
Is
be
there a
blown
reason
up.
why you do JPEG and not RAW?
Raw.
Or-
I always shoot raw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, not JPEG.
Do you convert it to JPEG once
Yeah,
it's done?
once it's done,
Okay.
JPEG definitely.
Yeah, got it.
Yeah.
How
Yeah.
did you learn all this? Like, are you self-taught, or is
Yeah,
there
first.
things that you need to do?
Pretty much I did all myself, like all learned by myself. So when I first started, everyone told me it's like, oh, shoot raw, don't shoot JPEG. And I thought like, why? The files are huge. Like one file is
5
like,
times or something.
yeah, like 25.
A raw file?
Raw files, like one
yeah.
one photo is
Okay.
like between 25 meg to 30 something megabytes per photo, right? It's huge. With JPEG, like the high res JPEG is like maybe 20, depending on the camera. That's like really high res JPEG, right? I learned from mistake, trial and error. Like editing JPEG is like limited. You can't play around with the colors as much, and then play around with the raw files. It's like, oh, the options are limitless. I can play around with it. I can turn whatever. I learned from mistake.
Interesting. Have you always used the same software, or have you adapted?
Yes, since day one, always
Same?
Adobe Lightroom.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What's the difference between Lightroom and Photoshop?
same company.
Yeah. Do they do
Um,
different things?
With Lightroom, they allow us to edit in batch.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so
Because Photoshop's like one by one.
yeah, one by one, it's gonna take
Oh,
ages.
I bet.
Yeah, and like to load up 5 photos on my crappy computer, it took me like
Whole day.
5 minutes. 5 photos,
Basically.
5 photos, right? And then I edit them out, and then export the photos. It just took a long time. And then and then found out about Lightroom. So since then I switched to Lightroom. Yeah, it gives me flexibility to edit the photos.
Is Lightroom also for video? Or
No,
No.
No?
it's the
What do you?
I used to use Adobe
Yeah.
because that was the most famous one back then.
Yeah.
And then I discovered DaVinci Resolve, which is what Hollywood filmmakers use.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I do shoot this flat profile, so I can color it there.
Okay.
Yeah, it's more flexible than Adobe. Yeah, and it's not a subscription base.
Yeah.
It's just a one-off payment, which is
Oh, okay. Oh,
much better.
So once you've paid, you've got
That's
it now.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay.
With Adobe, you have to pay monthly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Brad, do you just do weddings, or you do other things?
I do a lot of other things. Yeah, I do a lot of corporate, especially during this time when it's quiet.
Photo and video, or just video?
Bit of both.
Yeah.
Mainly video. I do a lot of interviews for yesterday I was just at a fertility clinic in Subiaco, so just
Oh, there you go.
different stuff. Yeah. I do a lot of car stuff as well.
Oh, nice.
So I also do car detailing as a business. I'm connected to this guy where they have the new Porsches, the GT3 RS. I'm sure you know it.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he's a dealer or an owner?
They do car meets in
Oh,
Perth.
yes.
Probably the biggest one.
Oh, and you film throughout the meet?
Yeah,
That you
and
film it? Yeah.
individual as well.
Oh,
So
wow.
like they have a garage in Malaga, so I filmed that.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah,
I think car stuff would be great to video and.
yeah, it's challenging, but yeah, it's good. Yeah,
Mm.
because a lot of reflection with the body itself.
Oh my gosh, of course.
Glass, yeah.
All about the angles and the curves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you do in your free time, Alysha? If
In
you're
my
not
free
celebrant.
If I'm not celebrating, I'm quite a homebody. I like to be home. I've got two sisters and a brother. One lives down in Margaret River, so we'll travel down to Margaret River. I've intentionally also taken a lot of weddings down south so that we can like make family getaways out of it as well.
That's good.
Oh, like the one you did a couple of weeks ago.
Lingalonga. Did you see the post of the venue?
I love that venue.
Oh,
I've never
have you
been
been
there.
there?
I've never been there. But looking at that photo, looking at
It's really
that
nice.
post, it's
I've only been there
Have you
once. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you do a wedding? The ceremony?
Yeah. Video. Yeah. Yeah. The ceremony was.
In the
They took a bus.
Yeah, you
to
have
that,
to,
yeah.
hey?
Yeah.
Right.
It's called the Forest Cathedral, and
Yeah. It's just fairy lights and just the
beautiful.
woods. Yeah.
have you seen like all the guests at this particular wedding? Like, oh, it's like Yellowstone, like where you go up and you look down. It's just like pine forest as far as the eye can see. And that particular, so I did a write up about them, also because the hospitality, like the owners, Beck and Boxer, they knew that I'd gone down with my husband and son. They're like, oh, bring them over tomorrow. So we went there and he had his like little buggy and he took us around the property. They've got a bike track, so if like anyone you know is into like downhill
Right.
mountain biking, you can do that. Yeah, highly recommend, because there's all these little hidden gems.
It's so good.
And I think like if I were to get married again, I would probably go for something a bit like that, where you can like make a weekend out of it with all your friends and family, because I've got all the tents set up that you would have seen, and so we'll like do getaways. To be honest, like I'm just very preoccupied with my son, which is amazing. Like I'm just loving this season of my life being a mum to a 3-year-old. So really whatever I'm doing is in some way revolving around what my son wants or needs. So yeah, and I'm more than happy living this life. I love it. And again, hence why I became one of the reasons why I became a celebrant, so that I could be present and be there with him. Not have to find alternative care, so I could go back to full-time work. So this is perfect. Yeah. So pump tracks and playgrounds, and he's got a little Pee Wee 50 now, so dirt bike riding
Nice.
is my life at the moment.
No,
And
it's
I
good.
love it.
It's more chill and relaxed.
That's right.
Just more time.
I think time is one thing I'm learning as I'm getting older. You guys might feel the same. Like time is the most valuable thing to me. I feel like as we get older, I'm so acutely aware of how limited time is, and that's like we've got a really good setup in our home where like my husband's home the majority of the time, and we just have time together as a family, and that's just what we value the most. So whether we're just like vegging out, watching TV, or playing in the totem, or like on a getaway, that's what we
together.
really want right now. Yeah.
Speaking about age,
Can't relate.
so
I'm kidding.
I've got a funny one.
Yeah.
So this was about 5 years ago. So I was doing this photo shoot, engagement photo shoot at the beach somewhere in Frio, right? Sometimes we get hyped up, like photo shoot. Okay, do this, do that, stand there, guys. And I was actually on top of a rock.
Oh no.
Right, rock, and then the distance between the rock and the sand was like that high, right? So I just easily jumped.
Yeah.
So I jumped, and then it just hurt my back.
No.
It's like I was limping. It's like, okay, guys, just give me a second.
So you weren't just trying to play it cool? You actually let them know you're
just
hurt?
stay there for a second. Oh, I couldn't walk. So it's like I walked slowly. I did my job. Like I finished the job. Like my back was hurting for about a week. Yeah. So that was the time. It's like, oh yeah, I'm getting old. I'm getting old.
Can I ask how old you are?
How old do you think I am?
No, I hate that question. 17, no. Okay, so 40.
Older.
Older than 40?
Yeah.
43.
Ding, ding, ding.
43?
Yeah, 43.
Oh,
yeah.
awesome.
Spot on.
Spot
There
on.
you
Yeah,
go.
yeah.
I wouldn't have thought much older than 40 at all.
Yeah. Asian gene.
Yeah, you guys. Brad is 18.
I wish. Wish I could bring back those.
25.
28.
28?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
So?
Okay, now you have to guess. I won't be offended. It's
I'll give it to
fine.
Alvin.
Okay. 30.
30?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll tell you who's closer. You go. No, you're under guessing.
I was gonna say 20, like late 20s.
What? No,
Yeah.
I'm 34. I'm 35 next
Right.
year.
Okay.
There you go.
That's
Thank
good.
you for your kind words.
You look younger than
Oh, thank
Yeah.
you.
That's what I
Yeah.
said, like late 20s.
Thank you.
Most, yeah.
because
Okay.
you've got that youthful kind of energy.
Mm.
Oh,
You know, which is nice.
thank you.
Yeah.
I'm actually the nana of my family.
Oh,
Like
okay.
I'm always the one who's like, okay, I'm gonna go, guys. Got a big day tomorrow. I'll be in bed by like 8 o'clock. Or
Probably the best thing because you don't.
mm.
I guess you don't drink as.
Not really.
Yeah. So
Mm.
yeah, I think alcohol plays a big part.
I think so.
Getting
Yeah,
old.
for sure.
Mm.
There you go.
Yeah.
Funny you mentioned about like you have to go a bit like having a bit rest before the big day, right? What's the thing that you do like to relax before the big day, like before the job?
That's a good question.
Yeah.
To be honest, I just whatever my normal life entails the morning of. So a good part of being a celebrant is I get there just an hour before the ceremony. I don't need to do any prep beforehand or set up or anything. So I kind of just do whatever, again, my family and I have planned for the day. Before I start, or when I started this, I thought I would be a nervous wreck before every ceremony because growing up, I to be honest, I had crippling anxiety just about life and public speaking. Like if anyone mentioned public speaking, I'd be like, have my head in the toilet. I would be petrified. But you know, as you get older, like I was forced to do public speaking in my teaching role. I would like run the assembly, so I'd have to talk in front of all the kids and families. And so, but I didn't know how I'd go at a wedding, being like someone's most important day, having all the family there. But surprisingly, I think because I do try to be so organized and I know exactly what the couple wants and I've got my script there, I know everything's going to be okay. So I don't need to distract myself or keep busy in the mornings because I know I'm generally not very nervous. So whatever happens in the morning, coffee, 2 coffees maybe, 3 maybe, generally a coffee on the way. And just, whatever we plan for the day. And then afterwards, coffee on the way home. Snickers bar is my new one on the way home from a job. Wherever the nearest servo is, I'm like, I need some sugar. I'm crashing. But yeah, what about you guys? Do you have a routine the morning of?
Yeah, like for me, I usually like charge all my batteries like a couple of days before, like I'm doing now.
Yes. Yeah.
So if I get all like battery stuff like all charged up couple of days before, usually like the day before, I feel like I'm half done. The rest is just like your peace of mind,
Yeah.
really, because it's different than the videographer. Like photographer needs to be at the front, to be the leader on the day, you know, like telling the couple what to do with this and that. I have to be a different person. What you see like me on the big day, on the wedding day, is different than who I am. When I first starting out, I didn't feel comfortable telling people what to do.
Yeah.
I've got a funny story. In the first couple of months of me being photographer, like shooting weddings, I used my 70-200. 70-200 is like my long lens. I stood back, like way back. I just don't want to be seen, to be honest. Yeah. As I've grown mature as a photographer, I learned a lot. You know, it's like I have to be this kind of person. Meeting strangers, we have to meet different people, right? Different race, different different kind of people. And then I have to be the person, like, be nice to them. Like, hi, how are you? This and that. Hey, hi guys, how are you going? You know, I just have to be that kind of person. It was so difficult for me at first. So difficult. It was really hard. You know, back in 2016 or 2017, I was at the point, it was like, I don't want to do this. This is not me.
Because you knew that you had to be more like upfront.
Upfront person, yeah. I was actually breaking down in my house, like, nah, screw this. I don't want to do this anymore. You know, like when I was playing guitar on the stage, I was actually the guitarist. Everyone was looking at the vocalist, you know, not me.
Of course,
I was like, playing guitar, doing my own thing. And then with the photographer, you have to be like you, like everyone's going to be looking on you. It's like, who's this photographer? Who's this Asian photographer? Oh. I was like, oh, this and that. It's like, oh, I'm kind of stood up, you know. It's like, oh, Asian photographer, camera.
Is that a thing, or you feel that?
I feel that every
Yeah.
time, every time.
Really?
Even
Yeah,
now. Yeah.
even now, yeah. I did this wedding late last year, so I can't remember where the venue was. So the guy came to me saying, "Hey, where are you from?" So like, Indonesia, but I've been here, half of my life, and there was no Asian at the wedding, so I was the only one. So I kind of stood up, the only Asian in the wedding. So
You did have a big camera in your hand,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
you were there for the
yeah,
photos.
yeah. But I didn't care,
Good.
I didn't care.
Do you notice as they consume more alcohol as the night goes on, like
Oh yeah,
that type of behaviour
yeah,
can increase? Yeah.
yeah.
Because you guys are there like amongst it all, right?
I usually just stay away from all the drunk people. Like
Oh yeah, good call.
I knew straight away. It's like,
You can- yeah.
stay away
Yeah.
from those crowds,
They put their arm around you and like,
Yeah.
stop talking to me. What camera are you using?
You are not to come near this.
Yeah.
Oh, well done, Alvin. Like, I wouldn't have even guessed, like, seeing you at the weddings where I've worked with you, that becoming this person was such a journey for you.
Yeah.
And, that's the thing. You never know what people have battled or overcome to get to where they are. Like, I would have taken you as someone who just, like, zips around and takes photos confidently your whole life.
Yeah.
There's a story, yeah.
It's a journey. It's a journey. Yeah. I guess as a photographer, I mean, as a person, we always learn. There's new thing to learn every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And what about you?
I slip in.
You sleep in?
Yeah,
Nice.
I have to sleep in.
Yes.
No, because especially when I have back-to-back weddings,
Yeah.
when I get home, which is about midnight, because I live the same way as you,
Yeah.
I back up straight away. And videos, much bigger files normally. So I would be staying up until like 3, 4 a.m.
Waiting for them all to load or like be backed up.
to back up to my computer.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Oh, no wonder you sleep in then.
Yeah.
Do you then need to charge everything for the next wedding, or have you got like extra?
Definitely.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's the first thing I do when I get home.
Yeah.
Is charging all the batteries. I don't normally take out the stuff because it's in the same bag.
Okay.
Yeah, I back up straight away because I can't sleep if I don't back
Of
up.
course, I can imagine the
Yeah,
anxiety.
all the files,
Oh. Do you guys have like pre-wedding nightmares? So like worst case scenario dreams?
I haven't. No,
You
I don't dream at all.
Oh, you don't. Wait, you actually don't dream?
No,
Never.
no, not a single thing in my life. I can't remember.
You don't wake up and like think, oh, I had a dream about that.
No.
Wow. Is your mind just in complete shutdown, like relaxation mode?
I wish.
Zen.
But, no, but I sleep like 4 or 5 hours max.
Oh wow! And then you're up ready to go.
Wow. Yeah. 4 or 5 hours.
Yeah,
And that's enough.
Not really. But yeah, I try to survive.
Oh, Brad. Do you day
Yeah.
nap if you can?
I try to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so no nightmares. Alvin, do you have nightmares?
I don't. Unless waking up in the middle of the night, like get bitten by a dog. Sometimes. I do.
Or at a wedding? Or
No,
just
no,
in
no.
general?
Like in general, like waking up in the middle of the night, it's like, oh, I got bitten by a dog. It's like, oh,
You don't even have a dog.
I don't even have a dog. Sometimes I have these funny
It's probably
dream.
Sam.
Oh my goodness.
Right.
Yeah, and then sometimes you have a dream, you're falling from somewhere, from somewhere. It's like, oh, waking up in the middle of the night.
Yeah, flinching. But you don't have. So they're getting lesser now as I'm doing more weddings. But when I first started, I was having nightmares every night, like worst case scenarios. Like I'd rock up to a wedding and I forgot my speaker, or I didn't take my script, or I forgot vows, which I really did, or something. It was all these dreams just repeating in my brain.
Well, this is not actually a nightmare, but it's like,
Yeah.
what if I forgot to bring my batteries?
You leave them in charge on there.
Yeah.
That's why I always have
heaps of batteries in my bag.
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you like triple check things before
triple
you
check things,
pack your
yes.
car? and-
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
So the batteries is a big
Batteries,
one. Yeah.
yes. SD cards, yes.
Yeah, my SD cards case
Yeah,
is just
the
one
case
thing.
as well.
So if I
Yeah.
forget that tiny thing,
Yeah.
that's it.
Oh my
Or
goodness.
strap. Yeah, forgot to bring strap, which happened to me a couple of years ago. I forgot to bring my strap. But thankfully, one of the guys, like I used to work with these different photographers, they have extra straps I can borrow.
Straps as in...
Straps.
Camera
Or
straps.
Camera straps.
Yeah. Because not just like the normal little strap that the cameras
Yeah.
come with. Is
I
it
like
not a
that
back
strap there.
support type? What's the benefit of those?
Just to carry.
Just having two at the
Oh,
same time.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Otherwise, have they always been a thing?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. For me, if I just use a single strap and then just carry like a sling that way and that way, I feel like restricted.
Yeah.
You know, it's like it's not nice, like especially if you're doing it for hours.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But with that one, it's just like easier for me to just, use the cameras. Do you listen to music at all?
Yeah,
Yeah?
I do.
What kind of music do you listen to?
Metal.
I don't... Death metal, no, I'm joking. I don't really have a genre. I like to relive the old songs. So like,
yeah.
like Fleetwood Mac.
Oh yeah. As we grow
Neil
older.
Young, all I was listening to Neil Diamond the other day, but even then, I also like Andrew Bird, Alt J. Do you guys know Alt J? Alt J,
No.
British band. That's like my die-hard. Like whenever they come to Perth, I'm there. It's a bit of an alternative. I think they started out as a Triple J band. Now they're probably still that way. But yeah, I don't really have a genre. Just whatever I like to listen to.
Well, I personally like rock and roll, metal kind of
Metal?
guy. Metal.
Nice.
Yeah, because
Screamer.
I love.
Scream.
I'm not much of a screamer, but I really do like a good like hard rock kind of metal. But the thing is, with that kind of music, it just gives me like angry, kind of mood. That's not really a thing for photography. It's kind of
He's more relaxed.
more relaxed. Yeah.
Couples get these photos that are like demonic. Like,
Consciously.
So usually, if I go from my house to a wedding venue, I usually turn on lo-fi music.
oh, I like lo-fi.
It's so good.
Good
It's
study
like
music.
good study
Yeah.
music. There's hardly any singing, but it just gives you a nice like peace kind of feeling to it.
Yeah, I agree.
I love that.
Yeah.
So that's one of my routine actually.
Lo-fi. It's on the
Lo-fi.
way to the wedding.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Even when I'm editing for the photos actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, turn
Not
on
metal.
lo-fi. Not metal, definitely not metal. However, if I feel sleepy, right? I turn on like Sepultura, Brazilian metal band.
No.
Sepultura.
I need to
You
hear
should
this.
look it
Okay.
up. You will definitely like wake
Okay.
up listening to that song.
Who was my husband playing the other day? Who? It's a like an in China Mongolian death
Mongolian.
metal band.
Haven't heard them, no.
No.
Oh, it was really like, but it's got like tribal, like their native tribal, like.
Sepultura
roaring.
does that. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be similar.
Sepultura.
It's actually quite interesting to listen to. There you go.
Yeah.
Brad, do you have a song or genre that you listen to?
Yeah,
R&B.
I love R&B.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do sort of karaoke kind of thing on the way to a wedding.
Oh, nice.
Ah.
Of course.
I just sing my heart out.
What is that? In your car,
Yeah.
there's no one to judge.
Just by myself, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I love Usher, Chris Brown, bit of Boyz II Men. Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. Because that's what I used to play as well. Guitar as well, like R&B and stuff.
R&B on guitar.
Acoustic, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
and singing.
Mm.
Do you offer that service anymore?
And
No. No.
special friends, yes.
I want to hear Brad on R&B on guitar and Albert doing death metal.
Nah.
We'll get you to play as well.
When the couple is doing the first kiss, right, at a wedding, do most celebrants usually step aside or
Yeah.
stay in the middle?
Oh, you'd hope they'd step aside.
See, the thing is, I always see like the celebrant in the middle and then rush either to the left or to the right. You guys can kiss and then just run to the left.
I
Right?
have seen that.
I could see in my photos, it just looks funny.
Just like mid-run. Just like a blurred figure moving out the way. Oh, man. I know, it's like a cardinal sin. And I have seen photos circulating where celebrants, or most of the time it's like pastors or in religious ceremonies where they're just standing there
Yeah.
and they just get like dragged through the mud online because they were in that kiss shot. But I think the way that I do my ceremonies, which I think a lot of celebrants do, is I'll get the couple to sign their marriage certificates first before I declare them as married, and they share a kiss. So once they've signed, I then just stay at the signing table, and then they go back and I declare them as married. So I'm well out of the way well beforehand.
Yeah.
Because I do remember my very first like full proper wedding, I just blacked out. Like, I think I just naturally wanted to follow the couple. So they signed their certificates. I think I went back with them and so declared them married. And then I remember driving home and I thought, oh my God, I don't think I moved for the kiss shot. I could not remember. It was just so, there was so much going on. It was like my first big wedding. There were so many guests. So I quickly went on Instagram and I messaged a photographer. I was like, oh my God, I think I was in the kiss shot. And so she went through and she took a photo of her camera. She's like, nah, you're all good. And I was well out the way. But it's always like, it's in your mind. Like you do not want to be there for that shot. Have you had anyone in the shot?
There's quite a few of them, but look, to be honest, I would rather have the celebrant in the shot rather than running.
Yeah.
It just looks
Of course.
weird, yeah.
Can you blur them out if you need to?
Nah.
No.
Because I've worked with you a couple of times and I always, you were like always on the left, either the left or right. So you're okay, you're fine.
Good, thank you.
Some celebrants will like disappear somewhere in the photo. So
I mean, it's fine.
yeah.
Where's Wally? Where's the celebrant?
Yeah.
Because it's becoming, I wonder how you feel about this. And obviously it's ultimately up to the couple, but a lot of couples are now asking for the celebrant to be standing off to the side and not with them. I find that, say, my more traditional couples are ones who might be particularly anxious, want me to stand with them, like in the traditional triangular style. But others are wanting me to stand off to the side, which I think is nice because my face isn't there in a lot of the shots. But then at the same time, I have to almost coach them and say, if I'm standing off to the side, you can't be like angling around and staring at me the whole time, because then that would look a bit awkward, right? Like they're trying to turn and look at me. So I'm like, you just have to look at each other or out at your guests. So there's actually a lot involved when it comes to the positioning and letting them know what to do and probably what to avoid. Yeah. Are you noticing more celebrants moving, like being at the side, or you're
On the side?
Yeah, on the side, a lot of them.
Yeah.
Even reading the backstory of the couple.
Yes, and then we'll kind of join for the
legal part.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I think that's okay.
Yeah, that's fine.
Because they can see their guests as well,
That's
and they can
right.
interact a little bit. Yeah.
Although the thing that a bit annoys me is, like the ABBA,
Yeah.
the background, right? And then if the couple were like standing like
Not in the middle.
not in the middle,
I know.
like from the photography point of view, it's like it's not centered.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you know what? I'm going to be honest. I am guilty of that. What I consciously have to do, which sometimes I forget, is once everyone's in position, rather than just starting straight away, kind of jump in front and be like, yep, and move them if I have to. Because I've seen photos of weddings that I've done as well, where I'm like, oh, dang it, like they're just a little bit off center. If only I had taken that time and moved them a little, it wouldn't be a bit off. And also like say if they're having the groomsmen standing up there with the groom and then the bridesmaids come down, more likely than not, one of the lines is going to be a little bit further away from the other than the other. And so like I'm trying to subtly be like, just move a little bit more. Which maybe I need to be more up front and say, okay, I'm looking at you, you need to move because these photos are going to be skewed.
Yeah.
But yeah, sometimes it's not until you see the photos you're like, oh, it's a little bit off center.
It's hard to manage. I don't think it's,
Yeah. I think as a photographer and as a celebrant as well, like we need to have the courage to tell people like where to go, where to stand.
Yeah.
Yeah. Especially with the big group.
Yes.
Like with the 10 or so 12 bridal party.
Yeah.
That's hard because as a human being, when we stand, we don't actually really care. Like we can't really see what's behind us. Yeah, there's a challenge. Sometimes, people don't feel comfortable being told off.
Yeah.
Go here. No, I don't want to. It's like, well, I need you to move that way.
It's going to show in the photos.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people's perception is quite different. Like I know sometimes I've done a little peek and I'm like, yeah, we look all good. And then I've seen the photos. I'm like, oh, there's actually quite a big gap between that maid of honor and the arbor, but it looked perfect on the day. So different angles. And I have seen like some photographers are really great where, say, if it is a little skewed, like they'll take more side photos. So it's not like this, if the straight on is like not square, they'll be angled photos. Is that a strategy?
Yeah, that's one of the ways to, to make it look good.
Fix it.
Yeah.
Fix it, yeah.
If those square photos just aren't cutting it.
Yeah. But sometimes it's difficult depending on the venue. Depending on the venue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The vines are good. It's
Yes.
the only thing that makes it a bit difficult is the like little steps to go up there. How do you feel of doing ceremony on the beach?
I haven't actually done one on the sand
Oh, you
beach.
haven't?
Yeah.
You're lucky.
I know
Don't
I
wish
wouldn't-
for it.
Yeah, I know I wouldn't be a fan. Is it just... Oh, actually, I have done one, but it was like up more on the dune, so it was quite protected by the wind, and it was much later in the day. But as a photographer, videographer, like, what are you up against here?
The sand.
The sand?
The sand is, yeah, it's just hard to move.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
What about like glare from... Is that an issue?
The glare is fine. The wind, it's so windy on the beach, and I think most couple need to think about where the wind is blowing, because with the bride's hair, you need to think about the veil. Yes.
Oh yeah.
The veil, and then where the wind blows. Going from the prep location to the ceremony on the beach, the hair and makeup is already perfect, and then on the beach blowing that way, it just looks a mess. Yeah. Walking on the sand is like basically like an exercise. It's really hard.
Especially you guys, like just zipping around,
like
you're moving.
Yeah.
Everyone else is just stationary.
Because we have to get different angles.
Yeah.
It's hard. Yeah.
And if it's a hot day, like the sun will be beating down, right?
Yes.
You'll be sweating. Yeah.
Have you guys noticed? I'm assuming it's because last summer was so brutal. Like, I remember every weekend in January was like a 40-degree weekend. For next year, like May is fully booked, whereas this May I had 2 weddings. But next May it's like booked out already. I'm feeling like it could be because couples are wanting to avoid a heat wave, or I don't know if venues are offering discounted promos for May, but I feel like people are becoming a little bit more aware of what the heat can do. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't know, for my experience, December and January, people tend to avoid it.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, so it's always quiet for me, which is good. I can go on holidays
Yeah.
during that time. But yeah.
December and January, I've got a couple of jobs here and there, but not as many as November, October, February, March. March is a killer.
Oh, March is the big one, hey?
Yes.
October and March. Yeah.
Yeah.
But even March was 40 degrees. A lot of the weekends.
Yeah. Yeah, we got a funny one. Yeah.
Oh, we had a late winter this year, so I think that's what they're expecting next year as well.
Yes.
Would be,
Oh yeah, so May would be perfect then. April, May.
Not too hot, not too cold.
Yeah.
Can we end it with a bit of tip for your future brides?
Oh goodness. Oh my god, I didn't even think of a tip.
That's right. Just on the celebrant side, you want to get that out of there.
I'll offer some advice when it comes to choosing your celebrant.
Yeah.
I find that with my couples, our journey together can become quite personal. The things that couples share with me vary. A lot of it can be quite personal, things about their relationships and their journey together and what they want in life as a married couple. So it's okay to kind of look around and wait until you find someone that you really gel with as a celebrant, because that person ultimately is going to be the one who's talking about you as a couple and will be essentially marrying you. So make sure that you just keep searching until you find that right person, because there is a celebrant for everyone. And likewise for celebrants, there are couples for everyone. You don't have to be a celebrant who fits a certain mold. Like, you are someone's perfect celebrant. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you, Alysha, for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Where can they find you on social media?
at That Celebrant Girl on Instagram, and on Facebook, That Celebrant Girl Perth. That's it.
Awesome.
Cool. Thank you.
All right.
Thanks.
Thanks
Thank
for having
you.
me.
See you next time, guys.